Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, the tea house where tales are told. Come on in and sit by the fire, and let me tell you a story. Leave a 5-page novel on my desk right now, or else no grade marks for you, and you need those to graduate. If you like the content, feel free to leave a like and a comment in the tip jar, and subscribe to our weekly tales. It helps. I've said this a few times. It super helps. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and without further ado, it is time, are you listening, to open up shop.
Hello.
Hey, they're all here.
You better turn
10 out of 10 intro.
Our
Yeah,
favorite goblin.
I hope
Turn
sorry.
that paper in. Turn that paper in. You won't let me graduate.
You gotta
I've
need
been
those-
held back.
You
Held
need
back
those.
twice.
You need those grade marks. As we all encircle right around into another week of life, I buy time while I hit Alt Tab. Last time, Jojo. Actually, no, Jojo didn't do anything yet. Give me one moment.
Jojo does nothing.
Jojo super lazy last time. No accomplishments to speak of. But now that music has happened, God, the amount of things Jojo did. Come on, my friend. Switch tabs. Thank you kindly. Last time, Jojo, Matilda, and Vincent traveled the city, trying to find information on Regis Swift, finding an information broker instead named Marcus. Receiving a personal dungeon keeper in Sylvia Olea at the dungeon's interface office. At Sylvia's behest, they found a mule in Paka Tunity, an unbound Lizaldan, and they return home to bind Paka to their family. As night falls, they go to where Marcus had instructed, only to find an ambush awaiting them. A small audience wearing masquerade mask overlooks the ordeal, and as malformed abominations that were once mortals attack the party, they struggle for the contents of 2 small, strange vials, Matilda gaining 1 in her inventory. As the party dispatches the creatures, the audience disperses, and they enter into Regis's home to sell the goods to find a strange and slightly malformed man who moves in an almost bestial fashion through his home. As they sell off the goods and leave the strange individual, they make contact. They make a new contact in Regis as they are given a leaflet with a guide on where to find him in the future, written in thieves' cant. The night fades as quickly as it comes, and as the party makes their way to their homes, they fall into a brief slumber, and we find ourselves in the midst of a restless dream. Jojo.
Oh no, not again.
Nightmares.
No escape. You go to sleep in your bed, you're certain of it. But when you awaken, you are not where you thought you would be. Where do you think you are right now?
Well, I went to bed at the family home on the floor, actually, because there's no beds in there right now. I think that she closed herself in a room because she was like, I'm sleeping here because I'm not sleeping at the Lavender Cafe because I'm afraid of hurting my family in my sleep because the dreams have been weird. So she's like, now there's baby lizards here. So she locked herself in this room. And so where do I think I am currently?
Yeah.
I think I'm just in a forest. Yeah. Can it be any? Is it part of the dream?
Yeah.
I'm in a
So
forest.
that's the first thing that came to your mind as your subconscious takes over from the night that befell you. We now find ourselves moving across the city a little bit. As you enter into Old Town, in the family home, you awaken to your small, all but empty bedroom. Upon Lavos letting you know that, or you letting Lavos know that you were going to move into the family home, he prepared a small section for you. Repairing the walls and floors, you find just a mahogany cube that you can call your own, and the potential, as you open your eyes and look around towards it, fills your senses of the things that can be done. Looking out into the corner, you see a small window, and beyond it, a forest. But as you glance out the window, the walls seem to just have disappeared. Your mind does not take this information in a way that would seem strange to you, and as you begin to move forward, you see the trees just begin to wither, slowly pulling themselves into a dry and brittle cold. A wind passes by at your back, and you see the trees themselves fall to ash as they begin to fly away, and all color seems to leave the world around you. You can hear the faint call of birds in the distance, and as you begin to walk, the ash that piles beneath your feet leaves a faint crunching noise, and the cold begins to permeate through you. What do you do?
She trudges onward. I don't think, like, subconsciously, I have no idea what's happening here, but she's just like, must keep moving forward. That's just like the only thing that she falls back on in moments like this.
Go ahead and roll survival for me.
Eight. I don't think I have any bonuses to that, do I? 8.
You begin to walk, and as you walk forward, eventually you find yourself in a thicket of these strange trees, and with every motion, every step, you touch upon a root that had broken the barrier of the ground, and as you touch it, it crumbles away. The trees that are interconnected fall in all but an instant. Wooden bridges that seem to have overtaken this strange structure of time hit the ground around you, and as you find yourself out of body staring downwards, you see those bridges formed into a singular eye, with you as the pupil at the center. And as you struggle to understand the meaning of this, you awaken. You find yourself once again in the strange wooden house around you.
The shock of, like, she has never not slept, except for like a few times sleeping at her cousin's place in the Anvil District. She's like basically always slept at the Lavender Cafe. So waking up in this place is just super jarring. And then she's like sweating. Okay, she sees the stuff that she brought in the corner. Her dad's sail in the corner in a pile. Okay. Yep. Love that. Love that. Great. Good times. And she gets ready for her morning.
As you stand and you begin to move through the area, we cycle through to Killian. How did you spend the previous day as the party had taken to the city? You find yourself with these newfound powers and time to establish.
Yeah, I think most of my day would have been at the manor. I know that Lavos told us to, like, come back later, I'll have it cleaned out type of thing. But I just feel like Killian felt she needed to help and that she could. She has, a mending cantrip. She has a lot of tool proficiencies. So I just feel like she would want to make herself useful any way she can.
Okay. So go ahead and make which tool proficiency do you think you are going to use predominantly in this kind of moving about the manor and attempting to fix it?
I think probably smith's tools. Any kind of like lattice or like ironworks. I think she would try to clean up or like unbend or tear out anything that's just not working and toss it away as scrap. But yeah, that's what she's gonna do.
Go ahead and make a Smith's Tools check. So add your proficiency to Constitution, I would say, in this front.
Okay.
And as you continue to put this work in, you can focus individual areas. For stonework, there is a large portion of Old Town that requires a lot of effort, as you can see. However, the closest thing to being livable is for sure the manor. If you wanted to attempt to focus the manor, there's also the exterior walls, there is the garden, the lake, the pathway through from the city into Old Town. There's a myriad of work that can be done here. And with a 17, you find this expertise in your blood that has been nothing but emboldened by this ash bond that just grants you almost encyclopedic knowledge as you glance around the area in how to best spend your time. So where do you focus your efforts?
I think first and foremost, she wants to focus on the kind of like the exterior of the manor. Specifically, the fact that it was really easy for us to break into it. So maybe knock out some of the windows and put like try to find or at least measure for like metal like grates, just ways to I guess reinforce the manor.
Awesome. As you focus your efforts on the security of the manor and the exterior strength and fortification of it, you take another day off of the effort that is needed, and with your 17, that adds an additional day due to your just constant and impressive work and managing thereof. Lavos looks onward towards you, and as you, Jojo, you probably also awaken to the sound of of some kind of either maintenance or rough and tumble work being done on the outside of the manor. As Lavos approaches you, like, oh, that's real. Oh. You think we should put metal on the doors then?
I mean,
same as the windows, it would match aesthetically.
I mean, aesthetically, maybe sure. But I guess it depends on what we want. Do we want to reinforce our doors? We could have the metal on the outside, but then that would show people that hey, this is a reinforced door. We could put it on the inside instead, just to keep them guessing if they think, oh, I'm just gonna wood shape or something. I don't know. That was kind of my thoughts.
I see what you're getting at. What you're saying is metal spike launchers on the inside.
No.
No? Oh, I completely misinterpreted that entire thing then. It just stands back and begins to look at the manor. The exterior is actually looking quite good now, despite the fact that it is heinously overgrown with this just constant greenery. The entire manor now looks as though maybe just some kind of tree beast has befell it, as opposed to years of disarray. It's impressive the work you guys have been doing.
I mean, we have some I guess scrap from just things that are not worth selling around the manor, but I think I need to put an order in. I've got something in my head that needs making, and I'm probably gonna make it here because I don't think my shack is gonna fit, or it's not gonna fit in my shack that I have. But do you think you'll be okay here today if I go and do that?
Oh yeah, of course. I'll tell you what, I'm also flat broke, so I was also thinking of going and doing some work in town. Ain't nothing wrong with a bit of hard labor as a god. Some of them gods might look down on that, but not me, right? So, in the nature of that, whatever you need, you just tell me about it, and I'm gonna do my best to get you what it is that you have to do, to get, to need, to want. Does that make sense?
Comes down the stairs. Hey, we sold all the stuff yesterday, so we got some. There was some gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that'll help. I have a contact who does a lot of. I mean, he's a really good craftsman. I'm gonna see if he can maybe give me one of his contacts.
Okay.
So
I know a pawn shop that has some really weird shit at it. If you want, I can show you that place.
Sure. Yeah. I don't think
I don't know.
people usually pawn bars of ore.
I don't know. Cisco, is the guy who runs the place. He'll just buy any crap that people find in the dungeon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might. I mean, that. We'll see what he has.
We were also looking. Oh yeah, we got this. We went to the guild yesterday and we found this quest for armor repair that I thought you might be interested in. It is for the Ares family, and she'll look at Lava, so she says that. I don't know if we care about that.
And this looks like I could do it, but I thought, is that bad?
It probably shouldn't be having too much contact with any of the Greek gods. Ares himself, a bit of a difficult one to get around on. Yeah. the family itself, don't know too much about it. But if this is something you need to do and you ever come even close to Ares, just get out of there. Find an excuse, leave. Because there's no guarantee he wouldn't attack my family.
Oh, well then maybe we shouldn't. We'll just wait. I can repair someone else's armor when they post. And I just I thrust the paper back into Jojo's hands.
Oh, yeah, I'll own this. What's the deal with you and the other Greek pantheon? Like, what happened with that?
It is a long story, and probably one with tea and not drywall dust, you know. Okay. But suffice it to say, not a single one of them really likes me. There's a few, you know, that can consider me to be alright, but mostly because I piss off a lot of the other gods something fierce, and they themselves don't like each other very much, right? So, okay. In general, Ares family, they might be good people. That's the danger with sins of the father and all that, right? But you want to stay away from Hercules. You want to stay right away from Dionysus. There's quite a bit there that will carry through into the families, I'm sure.
Okay. We can discuss that with the whole family, I guess. But we also have this other quest, the water mobbit one. She points to Lavos.
Yeah.
I think we were thinking of checking that out today.
This guy's on drugs. Just find whatever it is that he has. You know, this one might be one where you just need to sit there for an hour and he's like, oh, you killed them all. Good job. Who knows?
Never heard of a water mobbit before.
That's because I don't think they exist, man.
No, they do, kind of. Right? It's like a creature that you talk about to your kids and then they'll come and eat you if you don't, you know, eat your vegetables or something, right? They exist in dreams. They do not exist in real life.
Oh, dreams. Hey, I've been having real weird dreams since we got ash bonded. They probably don't mean nothing, right? I don't.
Yeah, dreams never mean anything, to be honest with you. He grabs you by the shoulders and he says, "What are your dreams?" He stares you in the eyes.
I don't know. There was a forest and the trees fell in the shape of an eye, and then the other night there was I was looping my morning routine, and the stair kept on creaking. There was a dog, and it opened its mouth, and it had the same sound as the creaking stair, and I did that for a week. It felt like.
I'm gonna get back to you on that. And he immediately calms back down. You see him lean back. He's probably fine.
Man,
you see, I've spent a long time in the deep ethereal, and it's a place of just pure consciousness, right? It's basically just dreams made manifest, so it's madness. Yeah. I'm gonna spend some time thinking about these dreams of yours, and we'll come to some kind of conclusion. But okay. Dreams are hard. I'll get back to you. For the nature of this, Killian, you said you got someone you want to do. Anything the two of you need from me, I'm going to start going with hitting the house with the hammer again.
No, I think I'm good. I'll whatever I can't get from the pawn shop, and from my contact, I'll let you know.
Absolutely. Jojo?
Yeah, I think I'm good. I'll let you know though.
All
do you
right.
need anything from us? You don't need any help with the house or jobs or whatever?
Pick me up a sandwich at some point during the day. It'd be great.
Yeah, I noticed we don't really have much food here. Yeah,
it's not, but we have a cold room. We do. It's just locked shut, and I haven't tried to open it yet. So that might have some food in it.
I could try to deal with that if you like.
Sure, the door's metal. Yeah, I'll bring you there.
Is there a key? A keyhole?
Not that I can find. But these people took real good care of where they put their, keys. He points back towards the massive pile of wood and garbage. And as the two of you head into the manor, Jojo, do you head off into town or do you remain at the family home for now?
I think she was gonna go with Killian and show her the Cisco's pawn shop.
Oh, okay. In that case, you guys, Killian, do you do the door thing or do you head with Jojo?
Killian's like about to leave with or like go into the house with Lavos. It's like, sorry. I'll do it later. It's not going anywhere, right? And then just kind of toddle back towards Jojo.
And kind of smiles and turns back and moves in towards the manor. As soon as he closes the door on the inside of the manor, like he reaches the front door, closes it, you just hear on the other side of the manor. He's like, I got it. As the two of you leave and begin to head into town once more, I will have Vincent and Matilda roll a d20. Go ahead and roll Spotlight. There's still one letter lower than 2. One letter.
Yes.
There's so many letters lower than 2.
All of them.
26? I don't know how many letters there are.
Oh, I didn't hit the roll button. I like clicked it and I was like, oh, I rolled, but it was what? It's Vincent dice.
I myself am not sure how many letters are lower than 2 numerically.
I do want to say one thing. My favorite thing about that whole entire this thing was like Killian was like, oh, there's something going on in here, and then Jojo's having all these fucked up dreams, and all I can think is, oh yes, mental illness.
Are you suffering with a mental illness or are you killing it? Did it?
All right, sorry.
That's okay.
Spotlight.
Spotlight. Matilda, we cycle over towards you as I try and find... There we go. Cycling over to the other side of town. Did you head back home to your home to rest?
I did, because I got real fucked up last time.
Yeah, need that long rest.
I was bleeding.
You guys take note. Jojo, you're somewhat accustomed to being beat up.
Yeah.
And Matilda, you are not.
No. I'm
like,
this is terrible. I hate this.
You have comfortably left the house for your entire, life without ever having scratched your knee. And a couple days after taking an ash bond, you are bloodied and beaten and hurt. Most of that damage came from your own family members in the form of some kind of enthralled book control. However, as you awaken in the morning, fully expecting to be like, you just cycle up and find your body devoid of damage. The first time anything like this had ever happened upon you, and it really begins to set in the nature of this magic that permeates you now, as the natural healing that would have taken over 3-4 months happens over the course of a night.
Convenient. All right, back to studying.
What are you studying right now? I can also say that you had picked up previously the amulet that had shattered into the heart of the half-elven person within the manor when you were fighting them, and you also had taken interest in studying that. You also have the vial of the strange liquid that was picked up from the abomination creatures, and you have the torch bloom itself. What do you spend time studying in this morning?
I'm still spending time on the torch bloom right now. I put up my hair in a really shitty messy bun, and I put on my really comfy cardigan, which the buttons are all different glass eyes that Pom Pom had found me and given me as trinkets that I sewed on, and the buttons instead of buttons. So they're kind of like these weird misshapen things with irises and pupils in the middle, and it looks horrifying, but I find it very amazing. And I'm working, and I'm taking doodles, and I'm trying to figure out all the different stuff that the plant might need. I also probably look and see if I can take tiny little cuttings very carefully to see if I could maybe grow it somewhere else. I also probably eat one of the leaves that's not the torch bloom itself, because she's like, what if I eat something that's not the petal? What happens? So let's see.
As you look down towards the plant, you find first, go ahead and roll nature. At a base level of this nature check, you will receive that there are no individual leaves. This plant, whatever this plant seems to be, not only thrives within sunlight, but also within darkness. This thing can seem to exist just about anywhere. You have not offered it any particular sustenance, as you have no idea
lovely.
what these things might eat with a 4 nice. However, as you glean into the nature of it, it seems entirely alien. It does not seem to follow any known laws that you would understand via plants and how they would continue. Beyond that, as you attempt to take the cuttings, you pull those cuttings away from the plant and you find them immediately just dissolve into ash. The plant itself almost just slowly stitching itself closed. You can see these tiny little tendrils like pull the plant fibers back together and rebuild itself into its exact form before. There's also these faint blemishes on the surface of the plant that you took a cutting from. Those blemishes return as well, in the exact same position they were. What any of this means from your nature check, you are entirely unsure.
I really want to set this plant on fire because it's a torch bloom, but no, not yet. I'll wait. But yeah, that's pretty much all she does is she's just like studying like crazy. And if she gets bored of the torch bloom, she'll like look at a couple of the other things, but she's mostly focusing on the torch bloom right now.
Alrighty. And we cycle through as your morning is spent in studious exploits. Vincent, we find you now within the Black Sheep brothel.
Mm-hmm. So we ended off last night. We went back to the manor to bring Paka back and the babies, and they dropped all their stuff off, right?
Yes, as he is basically now getting situated with whatever room he managed to find in the area. He actually does enjoy being underground and found a heinous lack of underground availability. So as he looks through the area, he's like, I could just dig, and looks towards the best spot that he could start making a cellar. But settling into the home with his listlets, did you wish to do something the night previously?
No, probably just maybe work a bit. In the morning, I would have been resting. Do we know when we were supposed to meet up? Was it, I'm assuming, in the afternoon, or?
I think by nature, it's most of the time just meet up at the family home. I think just generically, you guys probably off session, off camera, or just off nature, typically have a understanding between each other that you meet up when you guys are done with your morning routines and such.
Okay. Yeah, Vincent usually rests in the morning, so he's going to probably just track down Rosa at some point and just ask her if she's followed up with Ishtar, or if it's going to take a bit longer, kind of thing.
I think as we switch this music over here for a moment.
I don't think the brothel's quite active at this time in the morning. It's probably like 8 in the morning.
A little bit less spicy music then, but there's always a bit of spice within the Black Sheep, whether it be morning, afternoon, or into the deepest, darkest night. As you awaken in the morning, first thing, since we are hitting the end of the long rest here, you guys, I don't believe, worked in the previous day, as you had various different things to do. So your guys' costs of living here.
Vincent just said he did work for the evening. That's
true.
In the morning.
You absolutely can have do that. Jojo.
Were you bloodied while you were working?
It wasn't. I healed during that fight.
Oh, okay.
I'm good.
Jojo, you pay 2 silver, 5 copper.
He also
Killian.
has Song of Rest, so he can recover afterwards.
So just this violin music rings out from the center of from the top corner of the Black Sheep brothel.
He doesn't need.
Killian. Sorry, 1 second. 1 silver, 5 copper. Matilda, that is 1 gold piece. And Vincent, if you were Were-King.
He would have taken some sort of easy job, so it's not going to be a high-end client. He was not 100%.
You make enough to cover your day's expenses.
2.
So that is just a straight 0.
I thought he always made at least 2 gold.
Oh yeah, sorry, I had the wrong one. I was looking at low-end brothel. This is a mid-end brothel. You make 2 gold from the cost of your living. Let me just make sure all of this is correct. Yes. And since the morning also passes, we cycle back to you, Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
You approach Rosa. You see she's got her glasses off. She doesn't need them, but she wears them anyway. And she places it down on her desk and she's just looking over this just pile of documents.
I think he's just like her door's open, so he like walks in and sees her like staring at the documents. He kind of just leans against the door frame. He's just like, usually that's not how they get done, but there's always a new method of completing paperwork.
Oh, these weren't mine. She slides one across her desk and it slips. At a glance, you see the top of it. It's a report from the Red Rose. She says, those 2 people who had come in here to attack you, we had sent guards to make sure they apprehend them at the port, but were not allowed through the Talos family areas. As far as we can tell, they are still at large, so please be careful if they come back. You're much more equipped, I would say, to deal with them now, but that doesn't mean I'm not worried.
Oh, well, thank you, darling, but I do honestly think it's unneeded.
Let's just hope. I mean, one of that one guy was like 7 feet tall and felt like he was made of stone, so a little bit worrying.
Vincent's gonna go over. She has like a little coffee set up. He's gonna make himself a little coffee in the corner as he talks to her. Did you hear back from Ishtar? Or have you not had time?
She fixes her hair. Make me one love too, please. I have actually. We can set up a. Sorry, I haven't slept very well. We can set up a meeting, but it obviously won't be with Ishtar herself. It will be with Carmina. Do you know Carmina?
No, I haven't met anyone in your family aside from you, hon.
Oh, she's lovely. She's a little bit prickly, but I think you two will get along swimmingly. Beyond that, we can set that up pretty much any time. Is there a time that you feel you will be free?
It's hard to judge, but I think tomorrow should be good.
Afternoon?
Sure.
Okay, we'll make note. I can get you back to that relatively quickly.
Well, does she like anywhere specific? We could go to some sort of brunch place.
She stands and she approaches and she grabs her coffee. Carmina's one who travels quite frequently. You might either be here and you can meet up at the gallery, or you can head over to the middle of the deanery, in which case it will be probably a little bit closer to the High Vista. She frequents the Ivory Tavern center of the deanery, which I will post right here.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. And let me know if you're still interested in your side, but I think I'll probably be busy today. I got some family things to do.
Family things to do. That's funny.
What?
Are you trying to get them to, do you have to do family things, or are there things your family have to do for you? Is what I'm asking.
I haven't quite worked them up to that, but maybe eventually one day. They're a little stubborn here and there. They could always come visit too. Give them VIP treatment and see how much they loosen up.
We'll see how much they lose. One time is often not enough. And she just smiles. She stands, makes her way over to the end of the desk, just thumbs the top of her coffee. She takes a little bit in her finger, puts it in her mouth, and she's just like, force of habit. Takes a sip of her coffee, pats you on the shoulder, and is like, Do you have some time? Do you want to head on down to a cafe and just have a nice morning?
I guess. Last night I got my workout in, so I can skip it this morning.
She smiles. It's my V. Come on. And she...
he'll just like... Do you mind if I could grab something? I gotta go bring it to Tristan on the way over.
Yeah, I'll meet you at the gallery.
Okay.
She throws on a coat and begins to head out. She drops a large file folder on the front desk, and you see someone just dutifully grab it and give the two of you a smile as Rosa makes her way out. Where is it that you head at this moment?
I just needed to go grab the outfit that was torn up last night from the weird worm things. I just want to bring it to Tristan and get him to fix it.
Okay. In that instance, that would probably be just a second RP section. Is there any...
Yeah, I don't need to roleplay that. That just happens.
Okay, gotcha. That's totally cool. Tristan is...
Oh, one other thing. Before Rosa heads off, darling, I do have one question.
Yeah.
It's something I didn't really need to look in before, but as you can see, I'm getting quite busy, and being pulled in either direction is getting a little tiring, and I'd rather focus it on more structured things at this moment. Do you have any insight into an assistant?
I have a couple that I can look into this if you want. There's not... It took me a long time to find anybody that would be useful for me, but if you need something, I can attempt to look into that for you.
Just keep an ear and eye out. You know my tastes and my standards, so...
You see she gets a little bit worried at that statement. I'll keep an eye out for someone who is has fortitude. And she begins to leave, taking note of all of this. So I'll need just a moment here. As you spend the rest of your morning, you go out to a nice breakfast with Rosa, who fronts the bill. And as you guys sit in Gumble's Calorie, a small tavern slash kind of like lunch shop, really greasy food, but painfully addictive. The two of you separate for the morning, and you make your way to Tristan's, where you drop off or pick up your clothing, rather.
I'll drop it off. I guess I would have picked it up, because I would have dropped it off before. It probably wouldn't take that long to repair it. And yeah, I'll head over to the family manor.
That will be a silver piece.
Okay.
And you
also,
arrive.
One thing I was curious about, and Vincent would slowly be looking into this as he's traveling back and forth to the manor. Is there most of the carts just leave us off at like the beginning of the foresty area to Old Town. Is there any that he can think of that if he paid extra, they would take him further in?
There is, in the nature of the city here, you have higher technology than you would ever see outside of Amaranth. You have what are called cutters, which are in essence, you've seen kind of a cutter in the carriage that had taken you here originally with the two large spheres as opposed to horses, but there are full metal carriages that are basically entirely run by Magitech engines and inlaid with, you can throw coal or wood or anything that would burn as a kind of fuel into these things. They're significantly more expensive, and they are available for travel in the city. They move as fast as a carriage do, but they can go places that a carriage can't, in essence. Typically, people use them to get around outside the city. Like, you would take one if you were going to somewhere far away to protect yourself, because people pretty much cannot get into them. They are incredibly safe.
Okay.
So if you wanted to do that, it's significantly more expensive. What would cost you maybe 2 silver from where you are currently to where you're going would be about 2 gold pieces.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Alrighty. The nature of the pathway that leads from the end of Old Town to Old Town itself as well is something that you guys can potentially maintain. and fix up so that you can get a proper road into Old Town. But right now it's basically trodden forest path. And as you arrive in Old Town, you meet up with... you probably, at this point, I would say you guys join together as Jojo and Killian are about to leave for heading out into the city. Matilda, how do you arrive within Old Town in the afternoon after studying for the morning?
Probably would have taken the back ways, the quickest that I know, and then found a carriage and then walked through the forest and looked for dead things because I enjoy the walk through the forest because there's usually cool things when you're walking to the Old Town. So however much that costs, I'll pay for the carriage to cut the time down.
From the other side of the city, it would probably be 5 silver.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll do it.
Also, in the morning, I guess Jojo and Killian were going to leave to go to the pawn shop. Did you guys want to do that in the morning before everyone arrived, or is that something you all wanted to jump in together?
We could do it together.
Yeah, I'm fine to do it together.
For the morning, since you guys are free, did you want to work this morning? Both Killian and Jojo?
Yeah, fix up the house together a bit more.
Yeah, sure, let's do that. I kind of, for whatever reason, I had assumed that Killian was already working early today. But I guess that was the day before.
Yeah, that all works for me. If the two of you want to make proficiency checks, Jojo, what tools are you proficient with?
Jess?
Jess? Nice.
I think she was going to work on the library. She was going to start fixing up she was going to go through the books and categorizing them.
Go ahead and make an intelligence check with proficiency on that front. And
do I get any bonus because of my researcher background?
That would be the proficiency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and,
what was the tech? Intelligence with proficiency?
Please and thank you. Killian, you can make for this one... Yeah, no, that also works. Intelligence with proficiency for your tools.
Make a Dewey Decimal check.
Yeah.
19.
19 and 14. Beautiful. As you look into the library, you manage to pull a lot of the books that were previously damaged. As you guys begin to examine Old Town proper, you note that there is actually a building off in the corner of Old Town that was once a library that has been desiccated, destroyed, and left to the ages. However, this small wing in the bottom left corner of what is a smaller manor off in the Old Town proper was once a large spiring library tower.
Awesome.
Now left mostly destroyed.
Does
Killian,
it have any books in it too?
the ones that you managed to find mostly destroyed, go ahead and roll investigation for me.
Oh, that was so close to an 20 on my screen.
Nothing especially that you can find that is overtly special here. However,
Okay.
with a 12, as you're looking through the library, there does seem to be something interesting about this location that lends to you that maybe there is more here than meets the eye.
Secret shit. Oh, hell yeah. That's what you get in those ancient castles. You get these like secret library rooms. Oh my god. Hell yeah, let's go. We're gonna check this out later, okay?
You're gonna find in like the corner of the room, just the way you said I have chess proficiency earlier, you're gonna find like a knight and pawn riddle and just be like,
hell yeah.
my library.
Like I also have like a Sudoku custom skill. Oh no, I got rid of that.
I just picture like you're like, oh cool, secret compartment to the library, and you open it and there's just like a bricked in dead body, and then you're like, oh shit, that's not what I wanted.
And Matilda's
Does he
like,
have
yes.
Yeah.
As you two, Killian, you remove another 2 days from the.
Hell yeah, nice job.
Oh no, that is 1 day. I'm sorry. You remove another 1 day from the time that it takes to attempt to restore the manor, and you guys are actually. It looks really good. As a shell, it looks like you guys are almost finished repairing this thing. And Jojo, you spend most of your time within the library organizing things and setting that up almost as a little base. And in the afternoon, you all come together within the old town proper.
I do like the picture that all of the bandits are just like waiting and watching us fix it up, and they're waiting for it to be done. And it's like, yeah, get the fuck out. We're like, oh, we put all the work into it.
Can't wait to fuck that place up again. I'm gonna use that sofa as a pincushion. Get it like the way I like it.
We've got the manor like montage with the uplifting music,
Aw.
flashing paint at each other.
I love that. I just imagine it's like Killian being like, yeah, and then Jojo just being like the entire brigade like, ah.
I also picture like a couple frames of like Paka and his kids doing mischief in the background.
Oh yeah.
I need just a general immediate press montage music.
Hey, should we bring Paco with us? Hey, we were gonna check out this pawn shop, and you were gonna check out your other contact for like some scrap parts. Do we want to bring Paca and then we can go check out that water mobbit thing? Is that the plan for today?
I don't know. Do we bring Paca with us on missions?
I think they're pretty squishy, right?
They almost died by a small sack of potatoes landing on them. As far as you can tell, like they were very bloodied from that.
We may not need them for this, but if you want to buy a lot of like heavy stuff, Paca would probably want to carry it for you.
I don't actually know if I'm gonna be able to like make the transaction. I mean, I have some gold, but like I'm talking to my contact so I can get on contact with his contacts.
Okay.
It's a whole thing. It's like a domino effect. It'll be great if I can talk to them today and get the things that I need, but in the past, because I used to work for this guy, and then I didn't, because he suggested that I strike out on my own. You know, he saw that I was like a really good blacksmith, and so I did, and then no one came by my shop. So, and then I went back to him, and then he had a new assistant because there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the city. So, I mean, we're friends. We're you know, we can talk. I'm just not friends with his friends.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sure, I get that. Yeah. Vincent, Matilda, are you okay stopping by?
Oh, are we in this scene? I didn't know that.
I figured this is like after we met up. Like,
Yeah, you guys have all gathered together by this point.
It's
Okay.
like
So
your
yeah,
contact might have been just trying to get rid of you to increase sales on their end, because people are very racist, and if they found out that a goblin was making their stuff, they probably wouldn't like it. So I would be careful. Just be sure he's or she is genuine, or they are genuine.
No, he's really nice.
Okay.
And he did stick his neck out for me. He tried to find me other work when I came back. But it was the other people that he knew that didn't want anything to do with me.
In my experience, people are usually nice when they want something from you. So, anyway, sorry, Jojo. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering, what part of town are we going to meet this guy?
He's part of Gon's family. Out of character. I can't recall. Is his shop in the Anvil, or is it in like Gon's district?
Thringar?
Yeah.
Thringar's shop is in the Dennery. So it is right here. Pretty much right behind Gon's family home.
Okay.
Oh, great. The pawn shop is also in the Dennery. So.
Oh.
Pawn shop,
Lucky.
Jojo, as you are aware, is over here.
Yeah, we could take a straight shot from Gon, basically. Okay, cool. You guys good? Let's go.
Just a quick question. You guys are just going there to talk with people, right?
And maybe buy things. At the pawn shop, that is.
Yeah, Cisco's always got some weird shit in there.
Okay. Well, I haven't been in the Dennery for a little bit, so I do think it's good if we bring Paka out and get him more used to being around us.
I also think we should make a meeting place, because this is very counterintuitive. We're coming to meet you here, and then we're leaving. This costs money, and I find it very stupid. We need to find a different way to do this.
Yeah, I
you
look
guys
over at
must live
Matilda
here
and I'm
too.
just like, thank you, darling. I was thinking the same thing.
Wait, what? Why is it costing money?
I mean, I like the walk in the woods because there's usually dead things, and or like plants, so I collect them. Or cool rocks. Rocks are really awesome too. But it costs like 5 silver every time I need to take a carriage. And Mama Mal always says that if you can cut costs, do it. It's like you don't always need your extra limbs, so you might as well cut the costs.
I mean, you could just also move into the family home.
No.
I've just been walking here.
Well, Jojo, did you have a nice sleep on the hard wooden floor last night?
I haven't had a good sleep in weeks.
That's
In 1 week,
unfortunate.
in a few days. Precisely.
Also, quick question.
Dreams.
Has anyone else felt a little odd aside from, obviously, your nightmares?
Well, I woke up and I didn't have to go to the hospital, so that was the thing.
Not exactly that. I don't
mean
know
the
about you
itching?
guys.
It's
Yes.
itchy. Yeah.
But mine's more of a burn, but I was just wondering if anyone else was experiencing something.
I mean, I
Is
did
this
ingest.
normal?
I did ingest some things to do some experiments, so I can't always tell if the itching is from that or from side effects.
Let's walk and talk. Yeah, tell me all your side effects as she brings out a notebook.
Do you guys mind if we ask Lavos about this before we leave?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's walk and talk that way.
Why am I telling you my side effects? You're the one that's having fucked up dreams. I feel like maybe you need the doctor
You
more than
wanted
I do.
You want to be my therapist?
No.
Good, my
It's
mom
just
already
no.
gave me information for hers.
Also, Killian, if you want, I've dabbled in some business affairs, and being an entrepreneur myself, I can give you some tips if you like.
Sure. I mean, right now, I mean, I'm not really focused on trying to build the business, but once we get this place all set up, I mean, yeah, just getting, the family's name out there. If we can make some money or grow our reputation that way, I'd appreciate it.
If they're mean,
Yeah.
they don't need all their fingers either, so we could always help with that.
I was thinking similarly. If anyone gives you any trouble in the future, you can give them my number if they need it.
All I ask is I get to keep the finger.
Okay. I
Cool.
think I'd rather take gold than fingers.
Yeah.
Vincent starts walking towards the place.
The manor?
Yeah.
At this point, as we hit our first break, let's take that 15-minute, and then we can come back refreshed for this talk with good old Dad, and then we will head out into the city to go to the pawn shop.
We're itchy.
All right, so what the fuck you want me to do about it? So much was going on that I was just like, okay, so you guys are going to the pawn shop now, but I imagine you guys are here to level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So see Lavos and see what's going on with this burning sensations.
Yeah, Dad.
Oh.
So
Dad burns when it
that's
needs,
not
Dad!
that's not for me. It's you guys got to go somewhere else for that. There's clerics around the city. You guys enter into Old Town and you find Lavos kind of hammering away. He has indeed pulled the door off of the cold room and has set it back in place, but you can see some of the side hinges are just basically completely off and it needs to be reassembled as he's like placed it down and is beginning to work on the kitchen. Oh,
Lavos,
Hello.
dear,
yeah.
we have a slight question. Maybe you can inform us about what's going on.
Right, I'm interested. You got me hooked. What's going on?
Well, your dear family here seems to be suffering from some sort of ailment.
All right, who's the target then?
He gestures at everyone.
Yeah, I mean, who did this to you?
I think
Your
it was
guess is
you.
as good as mine. I'm assuming it's something to do with you.
It was you
Fuck.
take responsibility for this.
Roll a group persuasion check.
Can I roll deception?
Let me see. Yes. Persuasion or deception. I'm frankly
What are
entirely
we
uncertain.
waiting for? Oh boy.
You
hello.
don't know.
Natural 20, so 25.
Group persuasion or deception. So all of you can go ahead and roll.
Each of us does. Gotcha.
Can I use intimidation? Just kidding.
Oh, no.
Oh,
in this
hell
instance, in this instance, I think you could.
Nah.
Zero. How are you consistently rolling zeros? How you do?
I feel like Vincent is like, he looks at Vincent and he's like super concerned, and then he turns to Jojo and he's just like, oh, okay.
When you guys say, like, you did this to us, you see genuine concern as his eyes, like, goes back and forth, desperately trying to think about, like, the last 10 years of his life. And as he glances up towards Jojo and is like, it's your responsibility, he's like, oh, you
I did
fucking
add a
with me.
character.
Oh, yeah?
That was Candace joking.
Yeah, he stares on towards all of you and sits back. Oh, you can't scare me like that. That's not fair.
Yeah, it's not every day you get to scare a god, though.
He looks at you, he's like, let me think about this for a second.
Are you
Well, cat's
Jojo?
out of the bag, so
What do you mean?
our tattoos have been bothering us of late.
Yeah, let's come to that conclusion.
I don't know. I just feel like your sanity's at 0. I don't know why. I just get this feeling.
It's not entirely wrong.
Hey, guys.
Oh, were we talking about you? I'm sorry. Not everything's about you, Jojo.
No, she mentioned, hey, Jojo, your sanity's at 0, so I don't know if you're
Oh, yeah.
projecting.
I
I
wasn't
think
listening.
You're
You're
having
right,
too
I
much
was.
dust on your tarts. You should stop putting dust on your food.
Who eats
What are
sugar
you
on
saying?
everything?
Why is your sanity at 0 Lavos?
Well, mate, no, you want a level, right? You feel like you're getting a little bit further ahead in life. Is that
I think,
it? And you need a pathway forward. Well, let your dear old dad pave it for you, right?
I
Here,
think
come
Vincent
on.
like puts an eyebrow up at that. Do you mean this thing that's coming over us means we are progressing?
You have, and this is, you have the amount of experience in your life. You have lived through enough that your bonds are ready to grow, right? It's like a cup what be overspilled. I need to make the cup just a little bit bigger for you. So I've heard
already?
this hurts a lot less. Hey, you're the ones what been doing crazy shit, not me.
Well,
I've been here hammering away on a wooden house. I'm doing carpentry while you guys are out doing crazy shit. So yeah, you leveled. Congratulations. It usually takes people longer than this. But it's potential, and you got it in spades.
You said something along the lines of like, increasing this cup to show our true potential. Why can't you just give us a jug off the bat?
That's up to you. Whether or not you got a very large jug is on you, right? I ain't gonna. Yeah, I was trying not to, but I knew it was gonna happen.
Vincent just stands there like, when does this determined?
That was a bad boob joke.
I was
ignoring
desperately
it.
attempting to avoid one, right? But just didn't seem to be in the cards. So, the life that you lead and the experiences you have accrue upon your tattoo. And when you increase in power, that also shows through. When you get this feeling in the future, you come to me and I can make your cup that little bit bigger.
Okay.
Now, come on, here, let's do this somewhere more comfortable. And he takes you guys to the only sofa that's managed to survive the onslaught in this large, open, empty kind of
I think Vincent like
central
gets
living room.
a good look around the place now that it's been cleared out, and he's like, I guess I should contribute in some way as well. I'll figure something out, don't worry.
I really thought the itchiness was because the last few times we've done stuff for you, I got the shit kicked out of me, and I was very bleeding and very hurt. So I thought it was a residual effect of my body healing really quickly.
I mean, crazy shit's happened to us. It could have been from anything.
I
Let
mean, you're
me
part
ask-
of the reason why that happened to me. Like,
I'm
it's so
sorry.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. Of what I know, you had to fight bandits, right? And then what happened yesterday? Just in general, give me a quick synopsis.
Some trash came to annoy us on our way to the fence.
We
Mm.
beat up these weird things that had these vials, and if they drank the vial, they exploded. It did not feel very nice. And they
You
also-
said, Matilda, you said that they probably like used to be like mortal, and that they were
Think.
like experimented on and became like monsters by what was it, that guy's name, like Marcus, or that's not his real
That
name.
wasn't his real name. He was an asshole. I didn't like him.
Anyways, he sicked these like monsters on us, and a bunch of people in like these fancy ballroom masks were like watching and like applauding and shit.
Right, yeah. Unfortunately, you'd think stories like that would be somewhat rare. But honestly, this bond, this is the kind of shit that it invites in, right? This is why it's considered to be a mark of misfortune among different cultures. How many times have you been attacked by monsters while mask-wearing people have looked down on you? How many times has that happened in your life before this week?
Just the twice. Just kidding.
Two times. Looks like, that explains
Isn't
why you
many, but
started
it's
at
weird
third
that's
level.
happened more than once.
And having to fight an entire house worth of bandits. Has that happened to you before? You know, for some reason I didn't think so. That's why this bond is considered one of misfortune. It just fucking grows on you, it does.
You keep using that word, misfortune, but I feel like our definitions are a bit different.
And if you want the world, you got to be ready to take what the world throws at you. That's what these bonds are. Misfortune and potential. So which one of you is first to gain that little bit more misfortune today?
Vincent steps up.
As Lavos sits back, what is the next class level you are taking?
I am going into Bard still.
Bard. He leans back, and as you once again feel that strange warmth, it does not hurt nearly as much as the first time. You feel a warmth in the center of your chest, and as the ash swirls around you, and just you hear pulses and individual songs and riffs and noises that you've never heard before. As the world around you grows that little bit colder, and everything begins to dial down, you feel something, just a spark of something within you, and the faintest ideas that seemed so distant before become that little bit clearer. Music begins to flow through your mind, and the ash seems to dance in symphony, in concordance to the movement of your body and the beating of your heart. As it settles in, you have grown. And as your bond glows that bright gold that it had previously inset within itself, that charisma that defines you, that confidence, you grow to level 4.
Cool. Do you want me to roll HP?
Please and thank you. Throw that down. Let's hear it. Let's see it. Give me those click clacks.
Big money.
Oh, we
Oh.
reroll ones.
We do reroll ones on hit points. That's true. Ooh, big
There we
money.
go. That's
Much better.
decent. Much
That's
better.
very nice. I feel I get a little bit of a sneak peek because I don't have the 3D dice on mine. That as soon as you guys roll, it comes to me, and you guys have to wait while I go,
I've noticed
ooh,
you
and you need to wait.
Before I see it. And so I usually an indicator first is your reaction.
That's why I like to just say things like, ooh, and see where you guys get that. Let me go ahead and put on some nice little music here for you.
I'm self-absorbed, so I stare at my own face and then I look at him.
What is my own reaction like? Let me think about me. Let me put this one on. As the bond grows, ever so slightly, just the tiniest little pinch, little feelings, little flecks that begin to spread out and around your body, you begin to understand more than you did before. And your new abilities become etched into your mind as though you were born with them.
It's not like painful, right? Like that. This one wasn't painful. It was just kind of more.
Just a warmth and then a driving cold. And then as that passes, the walking through a winter storm, you breach the other side and stand upon a hilltop, staring at the mountain of potential that lies before you. You now find yourself slightly stronger.
Vincent just kind of like stands there for a second and then turns around. He's like, "Well, I'm all done. Who's next?" And then he'll go kind of lean against the corner of the wall and kind of look down at his pants. They got a little dirty on the walk here. Just clean them off with some magic.
I'll go.
Killian approaches, and you sit back. What is the next class level that you'll be taking?
Another level of artificer.
Once again, like driven sparks, the ash that falls through the home itself falls outside. It falls within and through all of you, but as Lavos sits back and places his hand upon the tattoo of your body, you feel that warmth, that driven warmth, and that cold as the ash swirls around almost in mechanical rhythm, moving as though it had a set pattern that it always needed to be in, and as it sets down upon your body, each fleck like a single snowflake, you feel pinpoint accuracy, and just pinpricks move through your body like static as unknown formula become apparent to you and obvious as the world itself becomes more and more mathematical, more driven, more understood. And as that cold finally sets in for that brief moment and fades throughout your body, you have grown that little bit stronger. You also see the mountain of potential that lies before you, and a pathway that is paved in stone and rough terrain.
Kind of shudder and shake it off, and kind of give my arm a little flex.
Do we notice any
Thanks,
difference
Lavos.
on the tattoo?
It gives you a nod. You notice that Killian is that slightest bit more buff. You're just like, did I have that piece right here? I love that shoulder V. Was that always there?
I love me a strong girl. Get it.
The tattoo in moving from 3rd to 4th level, you guys do take note that there is a incredibly faint, almost imperceptible change within your tattoos, that almost maybe they glow a little bit brighter. Maybe is that tiny little line, was that always there? You see this almost breach of the norm within the tattoo itself.
Mine's
You want
like,
to go next to Matilda, or should I?
Either one works.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
You stride forward, you sit down within on the only sofa in the house in this open wooden room, and he sits down with you. He places his hands on your body. You see white for a brief moment. Roll a charisma saving throw.
Ah!
Oh no! Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, charisma.
Oh. Damon, should you roll for HP too?
True. My bad. Oh, I thought you rolled a 14 for HP. I was like, I love those. I love those D14s.
6 isn't bad.
6 is great.
Not at all.
Matilda, as your eyes go brief white, you find that warmth within your core, and as it grows outwards, it shrinks incredibly quickly. As the cold overtakes you from the limbs back and down, you hear the constant chattering in the back of your mind, just telling you to do this and stop doing that and take this and kill Lavos and stop, do a backflip right now, I want a backflip. As you hear all of these, just this constant drivel drown out for a brief moment, and you look onwards towards the peak of a mountain. The frigid wind that pours over top of you, eclipsed by the light of the sun that rises behind the mountain, but as you glean into the sky, you see the sun already at high noon above, and this pale white light that rises from the mountain begins to shine down across the entire beautiful valley and glow with this fragrant wonder. Gross. Disgusting.
Yeah, what the? Ew.
As you see this light hit the peak, looking on towards it, you can see those strange divots in the outer edge, and it is blinding upon you as a voice as deep as the deepest ocean and as broad as the very valleys before you. You hear just one as this word that is imperceptible and you cannot understand passes through your body. You are jolted awake, and the cold subsides. What is your next class level?
Warlock.
And as your tattoo settles, you all look upon Matilda, and she looks particularly creepy today. Also roll survival to see whether or not you collected anything in the forest on your way here.
Yes.
During their little bonding moments, Vincent's gonna take out his violin and just start lightly. It's ever so faint, you'd have to be right next to him to hear it, but his violin, as looks like he's performing some sort of ritual.
You can always count on being a spooky bitch. I got an 18 survival.
You found I would say a little spider, but it's not really. As you move through the forest, you managed to collect this long-limbed kind of it sits with its legs up, forming this just semicircle that looks as though it's just formed of these tiny pins and needles popped into the center of a sewing yarn ball. It's just super round, has these long distended limbs, and it sits just staring at everything around it, painfully calm for a creature that you're aware of. And as you've collected that and you carry that with you,
I named it Cutie.
And Lavos looks onwards towards everything, gives a nod, looks towards Jojo.
Yeah, let's do it. Matilda still hasn't rolled her HP yet, huh?
Oh,
Thank you.
Hold on. Boop, 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 boop.
They're just taking a level in Barbarian again.
Sick. Also like that Vincent was just like, I'm playing violin in the corner. It looks as though I'm performing some kind of ritual. And I'm just like, that's what I think every time I see someone playing instruments. I'm like, look at that kind
it's
of
like a light
ritual going on.
plucking. If people had magic up, they'd see magic going around. To everyone else, it's just there's a slight warm feeling and sound of music on the wind. If you were to come near him, that's what you
Are
can
warlocks
sense.
a D8? I can't remember for the life of me.
Yeah, so if you look at
Yes.
your hit dice, it should tell you on the leveling up page at the very top, right next to the manage HP button.
Okay, cool.
I'm not 100% sure, so that's why I'm just giving you a heads up where it is.
The hit dice for a warlock, I believe, is a D8, but I can always double check. You have a D8.
Earth. Okay.
And,
okay.
And D&D
Fine,
Beyond
plus
should
one.
automatically add your con modifier.
Not sponsored.
So that's a 5. Yeah. No, we are not.
So yeah, if you go into manage HP, it'll automatically add your cons. You only put exactly.
You just want to
what
put
you
in the
roll
5, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Roger goes up, gets her shoulder ready.
Lavos leans in, places his hand down on your shoulder, and you feel the just leathery touch as the calloused fingers place down upon you. Roll a charisma saving throw.
Yeah.
For an entirely different reason. You also see this angel mountain. It's weird. It didn't make much sense.
I'm sure I'm way better at Charisma saving throws than Matilda.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh, 13.
we lost.
Only one worse.
13?
We lost someone.
We can continue at this moment.
Okay, yeah, it was a 13 Charisma save.
With a 13, as you glean back and Lavos's hands touch your shoulder, you close your eyes for a moment and you hate it, but the face of Jaeger appears for a brief moment, looking down upon you, and you see 4 roses appear above his head, one of which just kind of wilts and falls away. As you wave that entire mental image away, and you just kind of stalk the confusion away from that scenario. You think on exactly what power is. And to this day right now, exactly when it's happening, you can't determine if that was your own thought or a thought that was placed before you. But as you dig in, the ash falls and just moves in towards you with this aggression, as though to like pelt your body in individual pieces. And you find with each successive hit this faint resistance that builds within you to the point where it just stops and it feels like nothing as the blasts hit against you with vicious force. The cold, one piece after the next, begins to fill your body. And as you open your eyes, this faint just glow, and you didn't even realize the grit of your teeth, but as you finally lessen that little bit from your jaw, you feel a weight lift from you as you grow that little bit stronger. And I'll actually remember this one. Go ahead.
As Lavos takes his hand away from the ash bond, this like prismatic, like the void with the cosmic colors in between, it's lightning and just shoots down her arm.
Sick. Is your lightning prismatic as well?
Yeah, everything has that
cool.
like cosmos and the void type of aesthetic with her chaos magic.
Is it? Do you mean like that just happens all at once, or like your tattoo? Because our tattoos don't expand until we
No, it's not part of the tattoo.
Just
it's
lightning.
like it's shocking grasp. I got shocking grasp. If you really want me to pull back the blinds on that one.
As you finish that, go ahead and roll your hit dice.
Yes, I've had the D12 locked and loaded for.
Oh,
hell yeah!
Yeah, so good.
You've rolled consistently high, so
For my HP, I've been rolling really good. Okay, what I got? 39 for my rolled HP.
nice. Like I have 28 total.
Dang.
I got
39%.
55. My HP jumped up to 55 already. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's nutty.
Barbarians, dude.
Strong.
A barbarian with an 18 constitution is nothing to scoff at.
Oh yeah, because your con went up too.
Yeah, my con went up with my aberrant Ashbond feat.
Ooh, totally, entirely ours, and in no way anything.
TM.
Yeah, it's just to be honest, I'm fairly certain that I'm the one who made this entire game. And if anybody says differently, they're probably right. So don't question me, because
Guy
I'll
gets
lose.
rolling in his grave.
As we circle back, we find ourselves now within the family home, and you all look onward as Lavos leans back and is like, all right, yeah, got the gist of what's happened to you last night as well.
Do you just like get an update on our current sense of self every time you touch us?
It's cryptic, right? Like what I saw when I helped you all, little pieces, right? Doing large amounts of family members at once is actually real good because I can get a better picture. But for the most part, right, I was standing in the midst of a very circular, what would you call that? Cul-de-sac. Right in the middle of a road, and people were standing above me laughing at me, and a bunch of big arms were punching me. I got drowned in a red liquid. And beyond that, I did see some other things, but it's going to take a little bit of time to decipher them. Jojo, I saw your mother for a brief moment, and I don't really understand that. I'm gonna be digging into that more.
I know where she's at, so I can go see her.
It didn't feel like she's in trouble,
Not urgent.
but
Okay.
something's going on.
Okay.
This premonition you have, do you get them a lot?
Not really, and as I do have somewhat of an affinity for dreams as well, so it gets hard to pull what's real from what isn't. But I got you on this.
Oh shit. You know, I sort of like started attacking Matilda and passed out after that book. But right before that book, I feel like I forgot to mention this. I like saw someone in the air. They were like invisible, but I had my magic sight up and they were like cloaked in magic, but they were just floating above us and then they teleported away. I don't know if that was like the golden cloaked one that was going to buy the book that they talked about or someone else.
It wasn't you, Lavos, right?
No, it wasn't. The thing is, I didn't see it either.
Which means it probably was another guard or a high rank person.
I don't know if it let you see it or not, or if you just had the right
seemed-
thing up at the right time.
I threw up my magic awareness at like I just sort of felt like I felt like something was watching me. I don't know if that's I don't know.
I might have to look into more defenses around this house.
Can you put up one of those like barriers that you had around the cabin? Look at it.
It's not. I can't possibly do something so big.
Maybe a safe room then.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Do something
also,
like that.
Just quickly out of character, Killian's internet went down, so she is MIA for who knows when.
Okay. We will continue for now, and then we will jump back in when time permit.
You see like Vincent after JoJo's thing, after about 10 minutes goes by with everyone, doing their bonds and chatting and stuff, he'll like finish his little plucking on his violin, and you guys don't see anything changed. It's just done. He'll like put his violin on his back and walk back over, dust some lint off of his shoulder. So we're going to this shop of yours, right?
Yeah, and then to Killian's. I think Killian's contact first, and then the pawn shop, and then I guess we can head over to that farm in Akadi's district to see what the fuck a water mobbit is. You said that they're part of like a folktale or something, right? What's the folktale about a water mobbit?
It's like a little creature, right? Here, one sec. I was gonna roll history here. Right, so I don't know why I roll. These bonuses are ludicrous. Right, so the thing about water mobbits, it's like a little bunny rabbit, right? It's got kind of the front portion is a rabbit body, but it's constantly leaking water, and that's how you can tell that it's a water mobbit. If it goes into the water, you see it's actually got kind of like a fish fin. But they arrive on land, get some little back bunny legs, and then they hop into your house and they eat your kids. If they haven't eaten their vegetables or taken their bicycles home, and it's basically just a folk tale for parents to scare their kids right.
Yeah, Mama used to always say that if I didn't take a bath, it would come out of the water and eat my skin because it likes dirty skin.
Yeah,
And
it's
now
a good
eating
one.
Soap.
Soap, apparently. Yeah. Well, they don't exist, right? So that's the first thing to think about.
Number one.
As you guys are talking about water muffets, you see Vincent just kind of strolling to poke his head into the next room, and he's going to be like, Paka, start yelling out, not super loud, but
The second floor, you just hear like as the tiny little lizard legs make their way across and down the stairs. It's like hopping one step at a time. Yeah.
wineskin in my one of my cups, please. He should have it in his inventory.
Okay. He hops back up the steps and grabs this like massive backpack, and he makes his way back down. And he just like reaches into the bag and pulls out a wineskin, places it down, reaches into the exact same place in the bag and pulls out a cup and places it down.
He sees the wineskin like just magically start floating up and uncork itself, and then it'll pour wine out of the wineskin into the cup, and then it'll float over to Vincent, and he'll be like, and he'll just start drinking some wine.
So go ahead.
It like floats back to Paka, and he's like, "You can put that away."
Roll a spellcasting ability modifier check against Paka's dexterity as he desperately tries to grab that out of midair, and he's like, "No,
It's not.
no, my job."
Wait a second. Let me see. Is it fully invisible?
Mage hand?
No. Yeah, it's invisible. Okay. What did you say?
Oh.
Like,
Spellcasting ability modifier check.
so just okay.
$13. Paka grabs onto the wineskin, and it just kind of like lifts up a little bit as he's holding onto it, and it pours out the wine, and then he drops down as it just like lands in his hands, and you just see him like a big smile on his face as he holds it close and just looks around.
Oh, sorry, darling. That was me. It's fine though. Just make sure you don't spill any, and he'll just put it away. He'll walk back into the room now with like a cup of wine and start drinking while you guys are continuing talking about mobbits.
There's always a little bit of truth to these stories, in the sense of they were there to scare children into behaving, but there's usually always an incident that happens that causes stories to be told. So, at one point, someone must have ate the skin of children for them to be like, make sure you wash your skin, kind of deal. Or the story of the two children that go into the woods and then they almost get eaten by the lady in the woods. Like, a lot of times these things almost do happen, and then parents are like, oh no, we have to make sure it doesn't happen again.
A lot of skin eating in your fairy tales, gotta say.
But there's other ones. That's just the one we're talking about right now.
Okay.
So, are we?
My parents didn't tell me those stories.
Are we going to discuss these pleasantries more?
Now let's go. I think we're good. Water mobbits, water rabbits, sure.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you're getting at. All right, be careful. I don't know. This guy might just be nuts and is trying to like lure in adventurers, and maybe he eats you. I don't know. Just make sure you keep your eyes out.
That's
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Vincent will just like take. He didn't pour very much wine. Take a big swig of it, and then kind of just hand it out to the air, and it'll float back over to Paka. Well, let's head out.
We'll make sure we eat them first.
No, well, I don't think you need to. But don't eat farmers. That's we're going to establish that one as a rule, right? Because
Noted.
farmers are very important for the agricultural growth of our community. Now, well, I'm just going to extend that to don't eat people.
Yeah, I was just
Noted.
gonna mention, Matilda. Honestly, I don't care what you digest and choose to put in your palate, but anything like that can be traced back to the family. So do keep us all in mind when you do these things.
Eating people yet, but that's always a possibility.
As long as, like I said, you keep us in mind.
Yeah, I'll make sure I keep you in mind if I cook you. I'll be like, oh, I'm so sad, but I'm also really hungry.
And then just like blinks, and then just he leaves.
The honor of the
Yeah.
family is the honor of all of us. You know, I think that's what he's getting at. Yeah.
Okay, but you also will be the honor of the family if we have to eat you because we're hungry.
Sure. Yeah. If we're hungry, yeah, eat me.
Paka approaches and he hands you a carrot, and he says, "You don't need to eat us. Here's a carrot." And then he just follows in after
Thanks,
everyone
Paka.
else. As you all
Saving my skin, Paka, every single day since I met you yesterday.
just big smile and just like a
Paka,
family.
darling, are you free this afternoon? You want
Yes.
to come on an adventure?
yes.
Good.
He just leaves.
Is he? 'Cause I'll be if he tries to walk
I
away.
was
I'll be
following
like,
after
"Where?"
you guys.
Okay. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
you
let's
meant
go.
he would go away.
Should we
You guys-
say that we stopped by the place in Gon's district first and then just like RP that later once Damon's back online?
For sure. I think you guys make your way through the town. More money. You guys basically have to walk the half hour it takes to get to the entrance, and then moving through to
We're not that far from
Serengaris.
the Dennery.
No, you're pretty much in it
I think we should walk.
as you make your way up. That is 80 minutes of travel.
Good walking.
Good walking, sweet. Hour and a half, you guys traverse the Dennery. As you pass through the large circular center of this massive, very, very organized city streets of the Dennery, you can feel the last remnants of excitement as the rest of the festivals that sit throughout the entire city scattered through. Some people just clinging to life of those festivals, making sure that they get as much revelry as they can out. You can see banners of the Dianthian Empire and the Amaranthian city-state just being brought down.
Is it normal for the Dianthian flags to be up?
No, not commonly. Especially considering this city has in essence been at war with Dianthus for 100 years. But as the war came to an end, it was impossible to not have heard. But the imperial children, the next in line to the throne, and the sons and daughters of Alicant Dianthus, the current emperor, traversed across the Aborian Trail to Amaranth to begin to establish diplomatic ties. The festivals around the city are just dying down from the events that had finished there, and as you can still feel that little bit of revelry in life, Paka's just jumping back and forth between closing festival stands and trying to get as much fried dough in him as possible. As you all make your way through and up to Gon's district, you pass by several different family homes. You pretty much see Harmony's Wake, Melora's family home, every time you guys leave Old Town. This massive, beautiful, and lush, green, wonderful home that seems almost to have been built out of nature itself as you encircle, and you pass by Talathi's home of Hearthome, a goddess of passion and care. Moving through, you pass by Gon's house, a massive, what amounts to more of a forum of various different workers than a home itself, and various houses scattered out and about, second floors of people just working desperately, first floors of various different stores and incredibly expensive weaponsmiths. And circling through, you find Thringar's smithy at the rear side of Gon's, and you spend a bit of time there as you speak with Killian's friend Thringar, and you find where Killian had spent quite a lot of time within the city before taking your leave of that area and heading through the city once more. And
how long does this take, and how much does it cost?
If you guys are walking, costs you nothing but time.
I don't think
We'd be
it's a long
gone
walk.
to Cisco's, which is over here.
Which is a 40-minute walk.
To get to Gon's place, how much would a carriage ride have been? Just 2 silver too.
Let me check. Let me also throw in some music for you guys. It was 80 minutes, I believe, to get over to Thringar's. Yeah, 80 minutes. So
In a carriage?
80 minutes is basically just how they take the cost of travel, how long it will take to get you through the city. So in order to traverse that, you are looking at 8 silver pieces.
Cool. Are you guys opposed to taking a carriage, or?
Mm-mm.
No, that's fine.
And would it still take us? So it'd be 80 minutes to take a carriage ride there.
No, I was walking.
So how long would it take? I need to know because I have spells active right
It'd
now.
take half the amount of time, so it would take 40 minutes.
Okay. Near the end of that 40 minutes, we're like 10 minutes off from landing in near. I guess you would have gone to JoJo's when we're near going to our Killian's place. When we're near getting to JoJo's place, he'll start drumming or strumming his violin again if we're sitting in the carriage.
Who are you paying that 8 silver?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Jojo pops open the door to Cisco's as like the ding ling ling at the front door of like some weird. It's like not really a bell. It's like some other weird contraption that jingles. It's like a ball on a curved thing that you hit the bottom and it like bobs up and down as it goes ding 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 ding.
Moving through the Denery, you pass by the cross, this just large central courtyard, and past the... So, Vincent, roll history for me. You pass by this massive, brilliant-looking glass trader that has... Oh, they don't trade glass, but they have a massive glass storefront, and you can see fine marble, large stone pillars, an absolute just wonder to behold. Vincent, you recognize this store. This is the High Vista Trader, a very prominent trade shop that is from CERN. Tons and tons of imports and exports and various different fine clothing that is considered very high society. That's something that you absolutely would recognize. And as you guys pass by, you enter into Cisco's Pawn Shop, a shop that has been here for a very long time, the location itself being passed down repeatedly. And as you approach the large central section, you have to walk in between these two homes that look like they have been plopped onto one central home in this fine kind of solid stone exterior with wooden supports, a massive flourishing sign that reads Cisco's. And as you open the door, you hear that. It's not even normal. Like, it's not even a normal ding. It's like periodic. So you open the door and sometimes it's silent for a half second and you're just blindsided. Ding, ding, ding. As you look in, you see people coming and going, various different floors of goods and stairs that look like they really shouldn't be where they are, but you know, that's where they had the space for it. And large stacks of goods. You could spend an entire afternoon here just searching for stuff, which is where you find the various different halflings in Cisco's bright orange attire walking through the area. And Cisco himself standing at the back of the main floor.
Hey, Cisco.
Oh! Is that Jojo I see back there?
Yeah, hey.
Come on into the back. All the way into the back. Come on now.
Yeah, okay.
You don't need to worry about anything. Just walk right on up front. How's your mother?
She's okay, yeah. I think, yeah. I mean, she's been busy.
Yeah, I've noticed she's been really busy lately.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Last time you saw her?
It's probably been more than a week.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, welcome to Cisco's. Ever I see you got some new friends with you. What are you bringing here?
Yeah, this is my family. I got looped into a family.
No.
So, I thought I'd bring them to you, see what kind of weird shit you got for us.
Well, you know what that means? And he hands each of you a single sticker. Here's one sticker for you.
Thank you. Is this like for a punch card? And Jojo would probably know. Is this for like a sticker card?
This is for a sticker card for Cisco's pawn shop.
Okay.
No, I don't take it. I don't understand what this is for. What is this?
It's a free sticker for you. You use it, and if you get 10 of them, you can have a go at one of the attractions around Cisco's, right? And you can try your hand at the high score.
Can I possibly roll to see how many I already have on my card?
Absolutely, roll a d12.
Nothing is ever free.
This is 100% free.
Ooh, an 8. Is this my 9th? The 9th one I just got?
This is the 9th one. You need 10. You currently have 9 out of 10.
Oh man, one more.
I give Jojo mine because nothing is free.
Now, I'm sorry, but these are non-transferable. If you want to relinquish your sticker, you absolutely can. And he looks at Jojo for a second and he's like, I tell you what, just don't tell your mum. And he gives you a wink and hands you the sticker.
Thanks, Cisco. Yeah, my friend here is looking for some ore and some scraps to do some building with. You got anything for her?
Oh yeah, I can find just about anything I need. Hello, little tall fellow. Looks towards the goblin who's still standing a half head height higher. I got something for everyone. But how about you tell me what all of you lot are looking for, and I can go look for all of it at once.
Vincent.
No, you go.
Vincent's kind of looking around the shop. Is it just like a room full of junk, or is there some semblance of like, is it clean? Is it not smell bad in here? Like,
it smells very fragrant, but you can tell that the fragrance is a nature of making sure that it doesn't smell musty. There's, if you glean into the back room, you can see dust kind of just like puffing off of various different things as bound artisans are just prestidigitating goods that come in. There's a constant flow of people in these bright orange like jumpers that are looking for things around, because you basically have one massive flea market and then 2 more stacked on top of that in 3 floors with these large wooden shelves with just absolutely seemingly random stuff on them. And as people are like, oh yeah, I would like, if you don't mind, just do you have a shield but with the symbol of, of Gond on it? They'll just be like, yep, 3rd floor, stack 3, and they'll just run up these steps. It's absolute madness. But it's got an air to it.
Yeah, Vincent's not totally turned off as long as it's not super dirty. But the card, by the way, when he handed it to him, just kind of like floats to Vincent's hand. It's just like, okay, I'll put it in his lapel.
Right, ongoing magic? Do you have ongoing magic at Cisco's pawn shop?
I'm sorry, I had my assistant out from earlier. Do I need to dismiss it?
No, that's fine. Just making sure. Check your magic at the door. Just let me know if anything's going to pop up. Also, if you have things like, let's say, Oh, I don't know, like if you got like a delayed blast fireball waiting outside my door, just let me know, that kind of thing. Anything what could damage the goods.
Nothing like
Well,
that.
things that could
darling.
damage you. Are
That
you
would
wanting to know
also,
about those?
I am of the utmost priority for the goods within the store, but I am at your service and am therefore your tool. Cisco
Okay.
is the name.
Do you specialize in any type of magic items?
I have a bit of magic about, mostly what people bring me. Recently I found a shield what come in that seemed to be relatively magical. A
Those
resale,
are
they
going
say.
around.
Yeah, it's been interesting. That's one thing that came in. I got a wand. A few wands have come in within the last few days. Didn't need them anymore. And he looks around. Are you narcs? Are you going to narc on me? If I tell you something really spicy?
Can I?
Depends on who finds the information really interesting.
Interesting. All right. Thank you for your honesty. I sincerely appreciate that. He looks at Vincent.
Well, you're obviously going to be keeping quiet. It's fine.
I do not assume all of you are within the exact same frame of mind.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur, and I know how to keep my lips tight if my clients definitely want that.
Say no more, my friend. Well, then you and I have something to talk about later, perhaps. And Jojo, what was it you were looking for?
I was just here for stuff for my family, but anything weird you got from the dungeon recently? I'm always interested in checking those things out.
I'm gonna roll perception.
Yeah, I'm looking for anything that's slightly disconcerting. Also books.
What was the sticker card? What does that get me again? He said it like the attractions.
Yeah.
What are the attractions?
You are fully aware how Cisco's works. He has a sticker card with 10 dots, and basically when the sticker card is finished, you punch it into a machine on any of the various different floors, and that allows you to attempt to break the high score of that machine. If you do so, you win a prize.
Ooh,
There
hell
are various different machines you can attempt to overtake a... You basically need to catch an owl familiar in a small room in the back. You need to attempt to punch this large, just flat surface, and then it gives you you see this large ball that flings backwards and slams into the roof.
Hell
And then
yeah.
basically, whoever makes the biggest dent in the roof wins that one. There's like various different attractions within Cisco's that allow you to attempt to break
I
it.
feel like the punching bag one's definitely a JoJo one.
I like
Yeah.
the picture and get ready to have a really big nostalgia bomb. Do you remember the little Ferris wheels that were at Zellers? Every once in a while you could sit in it and it would...
Oh, yeah.
There was a
that's what I
Ferris
pictured.
wheel? I never had the
Yeah.
Ferris wheel. I had the merry-go-rounds. I never had a Ferris wheel
No,
at a
it was
cellar.
like this like Zellers'
Not
mascot used
sponsored.
to be a bear or
They
something,
don't
and
exist
it had
anymore.
like a bear on it and like one seat, and you would go around in a circle. and
Yeah,
just
I never had that. That's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
I'm glad you
Yeah.
brought that up, because now I can cross off of my DM notes the fact that we had to talk about the Zeller's Ferris wheels. I'm glad that came up early, because that for me was
Sorry.
like an out. No, please. I love that.
That was at Brentwood Mall. I remember that growing up.
I so rarely went to that store, and God, that was fun.
Yeah.
Also, various different. Oh, I'm not going to sidetrack. As you guys look in, Vincent, Matilda, were you looking for anything in particular here?
Vincent was, yeah. Anything to do with sound music is more my preference for right now.
Okay. I think I have quite a few items from you. From the dungeon, nothing that would be considered prohibited in what can be taken out of the dungeon, but I do have some monsters' weaponry and various different things like that. For the music, I do happen to have one interesting item that came out recently, an instrument itself. I assume instruments are musical by nature, right? Yeah, a little bit of a Cisco joke there, and he just makes his way off.
I love him. I love Cisco. He did a great job.
Vincent's just like, do you know what type of instruments it is? Not all are equal in my mind.
I do. At first I thought that it was some kind of flute, but as it turns out, it's actually a lute. Dad, it's not actually. I'm incredibly wrong. It is a citin.
Oh.
As he pops open these small round spectacles and pops open
What
a
is
massive book.
this, Adrian?
A Mac Fjordmide citin, of course. You don't know what that is? How could you?
No.
He
Vincent would know he knows all instruments basically, but I don't know. Bianca, the player, has no idea what this instrument is.
A citon is a masterwork item and is considered a instrument of the bards. A pear-shaped cittern similar to lutes. Superior in every way to ordinary citterns. Like other instruments of the bards, they can only be used properly by bards. It's dangerous if anyone else even attempts to carry them.
How do you, what do I type in to see what this thing looks like?
I think it
what
looks like
is
a banjo and a violin, but you play it like a banjo. Like it's like pear-shaped.
Exactly. It has this long pear-shaped bottom.
It's
it
just
has
a normal lute.
white flourish on the other end. No, it's different.
Oh, no, you don't use a bow for it.
No, but it's like it kind of looks like the body of a violin minus the long bit at the end, and you like play it like you would a guitar or a lute. Kind of just reminds me of like a really fancy banjo.
This one is relatively expensive, though. It's quite a good item. I can absolutely let this go for a fair price. But what is it? What is your budget looking like?
Vincent just looks it up and down. Do you mind if I test its tuning first, just to check?
Of course, just to make sure. Are you a bard?
Yes.
Excellent. Then absolutely, here you go. He hands it to you.
He'll take it, I'll look up and down it, and then maybe just give it a strum. Do a couple chords. Something that sounds nice and light.
You see Cisco sits back and pulls out a pipe and just places it in his mouth and just begins to ignite it, puffing back and watching as he kicks his legs up onto his desk and just starts to take a rest. You begin to strum through, and it creates this just strange and beautiful melody that pours through. But not only that, it almost sends reverberations into your own hand and body. The cittern is an instrument of the bard. As you play it, these items have the capability of storing spells, and you cast spells from them. You feel this charged magic leave your body as it erupts out from you. He says,
store spells?
It's a very good item. It's a very good item. It's a wonderful piece. It is a little bit expensive, like I said, around a little over 600 gold pieces. I do have some cheaper instruments. I've got a instrument of illusions. You can use that a little bit, or an instrument of scribing. These items are also relatively powerful. I got your common potions if you need any like that. Get stuff around for you.
He'll hand the instrument back over because I'm sure Cisco doesn't want me just putting it on the ground or something. I'll keep it in mind. Thank you. It's just a little bit outside my budget right now, but if it doesn't sell by the time I get back, I'm sure we could strike some sort of deal.
Absolutely. If you're interested in any of the other instruments, they're relatively cheaper at around 130 gold apiece.
Okay, those ones, just to fast track this, what does the illusion one do? And what is it? I'm assuming because is the cittern, no, it's not an instrument you have to be proficient with, so me being proficient with lutes, that would fall under that? That
would carry over, absolutely.
Okay.
Lutes carries over to most stringed instruments in that fashion, and violins and etc. However, the instrument of illusions, when you're playing this instrument, you can create harmless, illusory visual effects within a 5-foot radius sphere centered on the instrument. If you are a bard, this increases to 15 feet. Sample visual effects include luminous music notes, spectral dancers, butterflies, and gently falling snow.
So it's basically a free minor illusion while the instrument's playing?
Absolutely. Within a radius around you.
Does it have to be purely visual, or could you do sound as well?
Harmless, illusory visual effects. And the instrument of scribes. Instrument of scribing, rather. 3 charges. Let me load this up.
And what instruments are they?
They can be anything flavor-wise. As you look at them, you also take note that but basically these are instruments, but narrative flavor based on your character and what instruments you wish to play. Basically, we can just say, that's the one, in order to pop this through. You also take note that you guys are aware you can pull the essence from a magical item into what is called a forge stone, and you can place that on another item, a mundane item. So the Instrument of Scribes, 3 charges. While you're playing it, you can use an action to expend a charge and write a magical message onto a non-magical object or surface. They can be up to 6 words and written in a language you know. You can scribe 7 words if you're a bard. Choose the message. You can also allow it to be seen in non-magical darkness.
How long does the message last for?
Fades away after 24 hours.
Mm.
So you can leave messages for people that can even be seen glowing through magical darkness.
Okay. Vincent will just look towards this and be like, well, thank you for your time. This I'll keep this in mind.
Of many, many more things. All fun. For Jojo and Matilda, is there anything particular you were looking for?
I'm gonna do that punching bag game.
All right, got 10 in your punch card. Good job.
Yeah.
You get one point for every transaction you take at Cisco's for the future. So if you all show up, and today you can get 1 token per day. 1 token, one sticker. So let's go. And he stands up, rushes his way over to the 2nd floor in the back of this large kind of library section. And then you see this just machine built into the side of the wall. That's just a pad in front of a metal plate and a metal ball that flies up to slam into a solid stone roof section. Let me just mend this first. Mends it over. All right, so here you go. Punch your punch card.
All right, here you go.
Puts it. I'll do it then, Jojo. Fine, I see how it is. Slams it down. The machine just dunk, 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 and the steel plate boom pushes out for you to punch. All right, take a swing. Remember, use your hips and like lean back and give it a good go. Good
Okay.
college try. That's what that means, right? You punch people in college.
Athletics? Or should I just do an attack?
In this
unarmed strike?
instant, you would make an unarmed strike.
Okay, so. Can I just do this? No. Quick action. Can I do this? Oh. 14.
14 hits for sure. Go ahead and roll damage.
Damage. 3.
3. You bring your hand back. You just like prep. You fling forward, and as you slam into this pad, it hits back. You can feel a spring coil. You hear mechanisms on the inside of the machine begin to whir, and then boom, the ball flies back, slams into the roof, and you see the spider web and splinter. And he like leans back and begins to listen in to the side of the wall. Most of your guys' passive perception is enough to hear there's a dude on the other side of the wall who's just like, didn't make it into the top 20. He leans back. Oh, I'm sorry, Jojo. That's rather far back in the rankings there. Sincerely apologize, but I'm afraid we do have several really high-ranked people come in here, monks included.
Yeah, no. I'll get it next time.
I think you will. You did not make it into the top 20, so that does not instill me with the utmost confidence that you will next time. However, soon.
Well, we'll see how long it takes me to get another 10 punch card. I don't suppose you got any of these challenges that are more like how good I can take a hit rather than how good I can punch something.
He begins to look around. Roll persuasion.
I always accidentally click on perception instead of persuasion. There's so many P ones right beside each other.
That's why I say perception half the time. 8. He looks at you. He's like, now Jojo, I'd love to help you out there, but you know me. I don't want to be delivering blows to any of your mother's children.
Boo.
Well, hey, it's all right. Hey, you can boo me all you want, and you know what?
Okay.
Water off a duck's back. You know why? Because I am the best
you and
duck
Ron with
within
these
the area.
fucking ducks. Did you guys go to a park together and just go watch ducks? Come on.
Yeah, Roa Cordelito.
Oh, you got. That's a good
you were
part.
there, honestly. To be fair,
I wasn't looking at the ducks.
I always play chess. I'll tell you what. Wonderful, excellent attempt. So,
Thanks.
anything for the rest of you. Time is money, and money is also money.
Vincent just like nods at when he says that. I'm good for now.
Do you have anything that is quite disconcerting in the sense of weird random objects or books or things that make other people go, ugh? Because usually those are the things that I like.
I have one that might interest you. It's a magic item, also is a bit expensive. I don't know if it's within your budget, but they are known as the Pipes of Haunting.
Ooh.
Quite an interesting piece. They came in from the dungeon through less than perhaps reputable friends. But they are rather interesting.
Is this also an instrument?
It is an instrument.
Oh,
Technically.
I guess we just forgot to mention that.
You need to be proficient. Well, when you said you couldn't afford the other one, he was like, well, no need to bring up the other expensive stuff. You must be proficient with wind instruments to use these. With 3 charges, you can play an action to create an eerie spellbinding tune. Each creature within 30 feet must succeed on a wisdom save or be frightened by you for a minute. All creatures in the area that are not hostile towards you automatically succeed on the saving throw if you choose. Creature that fails gets to attempt to repeat it. Basically, you scare the living shit out of anyone who hears this.
Hell yeah.
Shit at music, but I do that on a regular basis in the sense of scare people, so I don't know if I necessarily need this. Do you have anything that's like book related? That's like makes people go, no thanks?
Are you a wizard?
No,
Um,
I'm a warlock.
I have a book here about how to wake up early and become successful. That one's hard. Most people look at that and think, no, not for me. Is that what you're looking for?
Who's it written by? Who's the
Well,
author?
To be fair, me. But
Oh.
yeah, it's not bestseller yet.
How much is your book, Cisco?
Happily charge, for the back orders. And you see he like walks around to the other side, opens up a door, and there's just a fucking pile of books there. Hey, happily let this go for a silver 5 copper.
Yeah, I got you. I'm interested in your book.
Awesome, thank you. The printing press really made this whole thing easy and fill up a whole back room.
Here, love. Might as well exchange this as well. Vincent will lean over and hand him one of his business cards.
Oh, absolutely. And he hands you one of his own.
He'll tap the Heart's Desire side. If you decide to go with this, I can also give you one of our books as well. Maybe we can trade.
Well, what does your book entail? I have a lovely lady that my heart has been accounted for quite some time. However, maybe I could learn some tricks of the trade or something. I don't know.
Of course.
It's interesting.
Whether it's new or old, you can always spice things up.
He puts it in his lapel. I like this a lot. No friends, no family. This is wonderful. I absolutely adore you lot. Please, if you need anything, remember Cisco's.
Sorry, I didn't know if I interrupted there, but there was no more creepy books, right?
No, in this instance, the necessarily creepy things from a manner of normal items aren't something that he necessarily has too much on. He says, I have a Clockwork Cockroach here. That's an interesting one.
DM.
Mhm.
Yeah, no one saw this, but at one point we went shopping and we had a table of all these weird random things that we could purchase. And I would love to purchase anything that's very weird and very random. So how much is that cockroach?
The Clockwork Cockroach. Let me pop that in here. You are looking at a solid 2 silver, 6 copper. You just you actually have to pop open the back of it here for a brief moment, and then there's a little button, and you just keep pressing the button, you hear it winding up, and you place it down, and it goes da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, it's like Gambit's cousin. I got like one of these, but it's a rat. Oh, I got it from you, Cisco.
Yeah, I remember that, absolutely. He's like,
No, it doesn't.
no, he doesn't. As Paka circles around the corner, he's like, yeah, and you see he's holding like just a massive ton of empty vials.
Oh.
Well, you just... Okay.
What you got there,
Is there
Paka?
anything you want, Paka?
These were great. They were yellow over there, but now they're just glass.
You look back in the area that he came from, and there's like a yellow light shining over the top of it. What did you say, Vincent?
I asked him if there was anything he wants.
Oh,
You want
yes.
those?
He's just looking around, and you just the twinkle in his eye. He wants literally everything that he sets his eyes on. He stops for a brief moment, and he does kind of just place each glass vial down one by one methodically before it's standing and procuring from one of his little pockets it's basically like a little rocking horse, but it's a duck. And it sits at the top and it's just wooden flush to the side. And he's bright yellow. He says,
I think the kids would like this.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what you choose. How much is this, Cisco?
Paco's just like, Cisco looks at it and he's like, I'd set that at around 7 copper.
Do you got that? You got that, Paca? Or you need one of us to cover you?
How much is that?
Vincent just gives him 7 copper.
He takes it, like looks at it and just shakes it around and then hands it to Cisco, and Cisco just scoops it up.
And then he'll lean down and be like, you make sure to leave me a little extra inventory space and we'll call it even.
Puts the duck away and just kind of like every now and then looks at it underneath his shirt.
How many empty vials are there?
There was about 11 empty vials of various different shapes and sizes.
I want
Is he
all of
about
them.
That is a silver piece apiece for the empty vials. Fine glasswork.
Okay.
1 gold, 1 silver.
Okay, and then I also want to buy the cockroach.
Vincent, you guys are gonna wrap up here, right?
Yeah,
Do you mind if I take like 20 minutes? You guys can chill around here.
Okay.
Vincent will just stroll out.
You want to watch them try and catch the owl? That's pretty funny.
I do.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's go Paca.
Paca begins to just pitter-patter off with you. And the cockroach was also, if I look here...
I think it was... Sorry, never mind.
2 silver, 6 copper, it looks like.
Okay. And then how much was the glass? 1 silver piece each? So that
A silver piece of pop.
So it was 1 gold and...
1 silver. As Cisco waves you off with a friendly farewell, Vincent and the others join into the side room with the like black two-way glass. You can see people just kind of like jumping and attempting to catch an alpha male. There's just like, hoo, 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 hoo. It's just making fun of the individuals who are trying to catch it.
He'll walk out of the store. The High Vista Trader, you said is like next door or like across the street or something?
Yep, just literally a couple minute walk
He'll head
from
there.
here to there. Oh, sorry.
I don't think he's ever actually had time and never really been in this vicinity. He's heard about it, but he's never gone in before. He's curious.
Isn't my work around here?
Your work is further north. It's on the north side of the city.
Yeah.
I believe it's in Kellenbor's district.
Yeah, sorry.
Vincent, you leave Cisco's and wander down the street until you make your way to the High Vista Trader. Massive place, massive. As you enter in, the entire area is incredibly sparsely populated. There's very few people in here. You see an air of wealth throughout. And as you approach to enter into the area, you find individual mannequins inset in open space, each one brandishing these fine-looking imported clothing, various different long tunics and dresses and sashes. Very, very risque as well, some of these outfits, especially considering how much skin shows via the Cyrnan kind of clothing.
They're normal. Two things to note, or one thing to note, because I never mentioned this before. Vincent is in his wealthy attire. He knew he'd be going out the city today, so he's not too worried about it. He's wearing like a black turtleneck shirt with black pants, red vest over top of it with a few chains on it, and then he's got a like a suit jacket, but it's just hanging off his shoulders. He never like put it on, and it's got like intricate floral patterns on it.
Your current lifestyle is also set to wealthy, correct? Are you at comfortable?
I'm technically at comfortable.
Okay. As you enter into the area, go ahead and make a deception check.
Ooh.
You have advantage on this because you are currently wearing the attire of the high class.
Now, hold on. Before we roll this, you do realize that you're like next to Matilda, who did wear.
No, I wouldn't by myself.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I'm in my cardigan with my glass eyes, so like I don't know how much that was. I don't know how much that over your appearance. Hold on, sorry.
No, I threw kind of an image of my outfit in the Discord, but for people at home, you can use the word picture I gave you. Okay, so deception with advantage.
Indeed.
Oh,
Is deception also covered by your silver tongue?
Yes, I didn't use it, so it's a minimum of 15.
Minimum 15. You enter into the area and an attendant immediately approaches you. This half-elven figure standing, blonde hair set off to the side with one like very finely flourished swoop that you can tell probably took a half hour at minimum to prepare that morning. As they approach, very pale alabaster skin and an outfit that looks as though it also is Cyrano. You can see these various different strips that come down and are held in place by large buckles. Very auspicious, or not very auspicious, rather, very, very visible as they approach you. Hello, can I help you with anything?
Just,
My good patron.
Sorry, what did you say?
My good patron.
Vincent will just smile at him and be like, well, I'm just in the area. Thought I'd get a look. Do you have anything new in stock?
Everything that you find upon the mannequins within the area has been freshly imported within the last season. We would not dare display anything but the newest for our customers. So please wander around. If you find anything that you need, simply raise a hand and I will be there in a moment.
Can I insight check this guy?
Absolutely. What are you looking for? Vibe check?
Yeah. See if he... Vincent, he's still a tiefling, so like some people just don't like him.
It's like a Legally Blonde moment.
22.
Can't do a half loop stitch on Chanel fabric.
On 22, you can tell that there actually does not seem to be much hidden behind this individual's facade. As he approaches, it feels like him to business as usual. As you can tell, within the dennery, there's actually... You have always been treated all right in the dennery as a tiefling. There's other areas in the city that are really rough, but due to the mass amount of godly influence within this section of the city, it's all pretty dull roar at worst.
Okay. Yeah, he'll have a look. He's looking for two things specifically. One is a new aristocratic outfit, something that would be in his taste. As well as, this is clothing from CERN, you said, right?
Indeed. Imports.
He's looking for something special for Rosa.
Ooh. Go ahead and roll perception as you glean around the area.
And preferably, he smirks at this, a little bit more risque.
He just gives a nod. I can check our back rooms as well. Makes his way to the other side of this just massive open area and passes through a beaded curtain.
Said I had to roll, right?
Perception, please.
18. Not too bad.
So, looking for aristocratic clothing, it's not hard to find. As you glean around, virtually everything here is of a standard that you would have come to expect or higher. As you find aristocratic clothing within the area, there's roughly 20 mannequins inset into this like 300 foot across open concrete warehouse that just fine tile on the ground. And you walk up to a mannequin, it takes you like 15-20 seconds to walk up to the next one, and there's no shelves. It's a very sparse and very very strange atmosphere. But as you approach them,
he's been in places like this before, just not this one specifically.
The price tag on the aristocratic clothes that sit here is a little over like half more expensive than you understand the standard aristocratic clothes to be, where you would basically spend around 15 gold pieces for something that would pass in a gala, a royal gala scenario. These round about 22 gold.
I feel like they're marking them up, or just that they're worth more because they're imported from CERN.
Roll insight. You do not have Weaver's Tools proficiency, yes?
No, but I rolled a nat 20, so it's 26.
26. You can tell that there is a bit of markup here, but it makes sense that they would be a bit more expensive. You probably kill a couple gold pieces off the cost of these.
Okay, he'll take note of that as he's walking around. Yeah. He's like, I have an outfit in mind, but I don't expect them to specifically have it. Is there anything that is like blue or cyan that is like the top is slightly see-through? I don't know what certain clothes looks like.
Certain clothes, basically, if you're looking for any kind of bright color, they have it. And not only are these clothing that sit here like for purchase, they're basically showcases for what it is that you can ask them for too. So if you want like a bright cyan version of anything that you see on the floor, you can totally dictate what the clothes end up looking like that you had purchased. But there's a lot of sashes, a lot of flowing clothing, a lot of puffy arm that comes binded down into a golden bracelet kind of things.
CERN is like the land of extravagant wealth, right?
Yes. If you have a side cape here and a side cape there and like a tailcoat here and you're just super rich
there, and a side cape there,
here.
Side cape everywhere.
How hard is it for you to move around, and how cold would it be to wear these clothing? Is what you're wondering with CERN.
Yeah, I'll find. I'll look for the outfit that I would want. You said it was about 22 gold, right? But it's marked up a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll and what about Rose's outfit? Is there
he brings it back. That one ranges, it's actually a little bit less expensive. This one is about 18 gold pieces, but it's this fine multi-layered dress that looks as though it's individual long pieces of strips of clothing that kind of interlace into each other.
Okay.
It's this kind of black and red little number.
Also, what I know about wealthy individuals is they don't really need to bargain, right?
Precisely.
Exactly. Vincent just points to one of the mannequins on the top there, or on the side there, and he's just like, I'll take that one, and he'll give him his measurements.
Very well. An absolute wonder. Do you wish to be fitted in person now, or just the measurements?
Just the measurements. I'll take it. Do you have to like come back later for these things, Adrian, or do?
I'm gonna roll a d20 to see whether or not what it is that you were looking for is available to you, because most of these clothing are incredibly flowing. The measurements are not the worst. It says, return by the evening, and we can have something prepared for you.
You'll
In
just
both
nod.
of these. Lovely.
And does he need to pay ahead of time or not? These are things Bianca has no idea about.
Yes, you would pay now. He also says you'd like to leave a name.
Yes, of course. And Vincent Goldwater.
You just see a smile, kind of just like a brief and very wry smile moves across his face.
Is that like a passive insight?
You can go ahead and make an insight check.
Sorry, I just want to know if this guy's thinking I'm lying. Sorry if this is boring for you guys.
10. It doesn't seem like he's lying. He didn't do a very good job of hiding intent there, but it almost seems like he actually recognizes you now, as though he knows the general story of where you've come from. And then he's just kind of gives you a nod. You also mentioned the name of their number one competitor. And as he begins to move his way into the back room, he takes all of this down, and that will be for both of these 17 plus 22 gold. You were looking at 39 gold.
No, I was just like, what? That's like 10 gold off. Yeah, 39 gold. Sure.
And you have 2 pairs of aristocratic clothing. Go ahead, Jojo.
So Matilda, have you always liked creepy things?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, other people call it creepy, but I think differently. Like, this is cutie, and I show my spider.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, that's cute.
And it's
No.
like,
No, I'm kidding. I guess I'm one of those people. I don't think that's. I mean, it's a fine spider. Are you gonna keep that?
yes, their name is Cutie. They're
Okay.
mine now.
Hi, cutie.
As the spider reaches out, you see it kind of goes up the left side of your head, Matilda, and reaches the top and just kind of looks at you, Jojo. And as you say hi, you see both 2 arms kind of stretch out to the front of Matilda's head and just rest there.
Don't. It doesn't look like he's ready to jump.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, like, if it touches me, I can't promise I'm not gonna squish it.
If you hurt them, I can't promise that I won't squish you.
Okay, sure.
Roll intimidation on this spider.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a 12.
All right, I'm gonna roll something for spider here.
I really want Vincent to walk in when you guys are talking about like essentially grabbing things and squishing them, but he's just like, I think groping each other.
You, as soon as you bring your hand up, you see the spider kind of like retract slightly and just pulls itself back into that like pins and needles state on top of Matilda's head. Roll, but all of you roll nature.
Or animal handling or nature?
Actually, Jojo roll Arcana, and Matilda, you can roll either Arcana or nature.
That's 16?
16? Okay.
Which one do I have more in? Arcana or nature? I'll roll nature. Do good, Matilda!
So, Matilda, you couldn't quite see what was going on the top of your head, but Jojo, as this creature recoils, you can like see a plan of attack forming in this spider as it slowly begins to retreat, kind of giving you like the I got eyes on you kind of thing, and then slowly brings itself back behind Matilda's head so you can't see it anymore. This creature seems to have some form of sentience.
Where did you find the spider?
Forest.
You just... I don't know. I mean, I know that you just said this about the stuff that you like gives people creepy vibes, and it just seems a little off. I don't know. It seems a little too, it's just staring at me like it's gonna be, it's plotting some type of war. I don't know.
People seem to find very ugly. I don't know why people use that word to describe things. I like things that are weird, and I point down to my very weird sweater with the eyeball buttons.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay, cool. Yep, good.
Vincent comes in at this time and he's like, so, how are you guys doing?
Good. Some people really are shit at catching owls.
Does Vincent notice the spider on Matilda's head?
It's kind of moved back and is now just nestling its way into her clothing.
Okay, so you probably missed it. Well, do you guys, I'm good to go.
Okay, great. Let's go.
Puck is just holding up
it.
that duck into the yellow light in the other room.
Is someone trying to catch the owl right now?
There's always someone trying to catch the owl.
I pull a dead rat out of my bag and I just like hold it up to the window to see if I can like, and I like to think that someone's like trying to catch the owl and the owl sees the mouse and then they're like, ah!
Is this it's not two-way glass, right? It's like we can see him but they can't see us.
Yeah.
Oh, lame. I thought it was they could all see us. That'd be hilarious if they could watch people watching them be bad.
You do hold up the dead rat. And as you pull this now probably festering corpse out of your clothing, you do see someone with an orange jumpsuit attempt to snag it from you from behind. Roll dexterity contest.
Oh, that's not very nice. That's my dead rat. That was inside my bag. Hold on.
Ability check, right?
Yes, please. And as the orange comes into the peripheral view of your head, you just like snag it back. And they're like, we have a policy against deceased animals within the store. Please keep that outside if you don't mind.
Then how do you sell taxidermy then? Because those are deceased animals.
I suppose technically they would be considered luxury they're furniture. Please take, especially dripping creatures outside, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Okay.
A lot. It's just they're just naked.
Yeah.
They just leave.
We'll get out. Well, she starts leading Matilda out. Yeah, we'll just go. Thanks.
I think Vince is just sitting out.
God, embarrassing me.
You're embarrassing me in front of my halfling friend.
It's just a
You're
rat.
embarrassing me in front of my mom's boyfriend. God.
So,
Is that your mom's boyfriend?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What?
don't you
Okay.
I see
Immediately.
It's okay. Life's complicated.
This is
sometimes, I
Tamara
understand.
being like, oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
Well,
Okay.
are we guys going to fight some mobbits or?
Yes.
I was actually. I know we really want to do that, but I was more inclined to maybe checking out the dungeon soon. I guess we can get this done today and maybe.
You want to
do
go into the
that.
dungeon today?
Do you have a better time?
I don't know. I think I'd like to go into the dungeon a day where I'm like the day before. Tomorrow I'm gonna go into the dungeon. I feel like the dungeon isn't just something you're like, oh man, so we got some time for a dungeon crawl right now. I don't know. It just feels a bit more like people die in there like every day. Every like 10 minutes someone dies in there. That's probably too often. I'll look at the analytics later.
I think for me and for my Mama Mel and my Pom Pom, they would both feel better if we had registered as a party first before we go into the dungeon, so that if any of us goes missing, that there would be a way to come find us. So I think we should do that first before.
Yeah, sure.
So
Yeah, let's do the water muppets.
Yeah, if we do this job, then we will have money to do that. Because unfortunately, Lavos is not much of a. I think it's called a sweet daddy. Is that? Yeah. No. Something, you know, where like
Sugar daddy.
Smirked at that.
Oh yeah, where they have lots of money, so we need to go earn some.
Fine. We can head over to the Mobbits. Hopefully this doesn't take long. If this ends up being some sort of quack job, we'll probably just.
You said sweet daddy, and in my brain it was just like bitter daddy, umami daddy, salty daddy.
Salty daddy.
That one's the worst one.
That's the bad one.
No thanks.
That's-
I hate it. I hate it.
If you listed these off, Salty Daddy's the only one Vincent would smirk at.
Al dente papa.
Oh,
Al dente papa.